Welcome back then. And the Central Board of Direct Taxes has notified new rules to tax the indirect transfer of shares. Now, the rules will apply to transactions like the Vodafone one, which got into a major controversy. Remember, and Arun Giri of Taxsutra joins us with all the details. Arun, shoot.
None of us have forgotten the $2 billion Vodafone tax saga, have we? It is still alive. In fact, after 7-8 years, despite a Supreme Court verdict, then a spate of retrospective amendments, we then had the Finance Ministry, the then Finance Minister, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee, now President, bringing in amendments to the Income Tax Act in 2012 to tax exactly Vodafone-type transactions, where a substantial value of the transactions are derived from the Indian assets. But it's taken 4 years now for the CBDT to notify rules as to how exactly these transactions will be taxed. How will the market value of such transactions of the Indian assets, how will the market value of those assets be calculated? Some important points, 2 or 3. Number one, they have defined the right of management or control, and that will include the right to appoint majority of directors or to control the management or policy decision. Very important. And in case substantial value of assets are derived from India, then all assets and business operations shall be taken into account, irrespective of whether they are located in India or not. Again, very important. And onerous responsibility has been cast on the Indian companies, which in this case will be the target companies. So the Indian companies have a obligation to report to the income tax department that such a transaction has happened. What happened in the Vodafone case? They sold off the Indian assets, the Indian company, for $18-20 billion, whereas the shares of a Cayman Island company were actually transferred, and they got away. So in such cases, the Indian company will have to report back to the income tax department. Last word, they call the e-commerce tax as the Google tax. We can call this the Vodafone tax.
All right, that's the new nomenclature that has been given by Arun Giri. Thanks so much for putting all that into perspective, Arun.